What's up, guys? Tim here with A4 Outdoors, and I wanted to do just a quick video of an issue I've noticed. I've actually noticed it the last couple times when we were riding the X3. Seems like I'm getting a little more clunking noise in the rear, which I figured out what it was, and I've actually heard things in the about people saying that you're getting some clunking in the back. So I'm just going to kind of share with you what I found, or what I plan to do to try to help fix it. As far as the clunking noise. So the clunking noise is coming from the rear sway bar. The rear sway bar moves back and forth, and I'll show you in just a second that, so when it moves back and forth, it makes kind of a clunking noise. And actually the bushings in the sway bar brackets have gotten really loose, so I'm getting a lot of wobble up and down too, and I'll show you that in just a second also. So what I've done is I ordered a new set of bushings. You can actually, a lot of aftermarket companies make the brackets that go over the bushings for the sway bar. That kind of tightens it down, but I think the factory bracket is okay. They say they break in the middle, but mine's fine. So it's just the bushing I think's worn out a little bit. So the bushings, I went on Rocky Mountain ATV on the factory Can-Am parts, and you can get each bushing for like $3, and so $6, $7, $8, $10 for the two bushings. So I'm just going to take the bracket off, replace the bushing, and then I ordered a set of, which I'll show you now. Hold on, let me flip the camera. Bushings. I'll show you the part number. Bushing stabilizer, which is 706004264. So just get two of those. You want to replace both of them, which I would recommend. They're super cheap. Just a plastic bushing. They have a grease fitting in it, and I'll show you in a second, and they just kind of puts grease in there, keep it kind of just where it'll pivot up and down. And then I went to CA Tech, which I've got a lot of stuff from CA Tech. They make really good stuff, I think. So I ordered, they make the stops for each side of your sway bar, and basically your sway bar is supposed to go up and down a little bit. It's really not supposed to go back and forth so much, but there is some play, and it'll kind of clunk, 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 move back and forth. So what this does is you just tighten it up on the sway bar right against the bracket, and then that'll keep your sway bar from going, back and forth, making that noise. So let me go around this side since I've got the light over here and kind of show you what we're going to do. So, all right, rear sway bar is here. There's your sway bar link. I still have the factory, so we don't ride crazy hard. I mean, hey, it's got 3,500 miles on it, and it's time to do a few things, just your regular maintenance stuff. So not worried about the sway bar link. It's good. I mean, a lot of good aftermarket companies make sway bar links, which to me, I don't think it's that big a deal. Basically, it just goes up and down. And I mean, unless you really hit something really big and hard, it could break, which is, then I'll get new ones. But anyway, here's your bracket. There's your grease fitting. Yeah, that just screws out like that. You just take these two bolts out. But I'll show you, your sway bar will go in and out. And if you can just hear me pulling it in and out. Whoop, light's falling. So that's what you get, the in and out movement. It doesn't move a lot, but it, when your tires are going up and down and banging and beating and stuff like that, you're going to hear that extra little bit of noise. But if you notice, not just the in and out, the bushing, that plastic piece that's inside there, it's getting a lot of slop in it. So it's moving kind of in and out, up and down, and you can see the grease fitting kind of moving in there. Maybe it's kind of hard to see, but yeah, anyway, so it's gotten loose. And the aftermarket that CA Tech makes, and some other companies, they make this piece here. They say it tightens up on the bush and makes it a little tighter tolerance, but that's probably great. But I think the factory, when they say it's kind of thin in this area, it may break, which if it breaks, worst case scenario, you can still get home without a sway bar. You just got to be careful, can't go as fast. So I don't have sway bars in the front, but I am keeping the one in the back just because we like to go, a little bit fast every now and then. So going to take these two bolts out, the nuts on the back side, that comes off, take the grease fitting out of it, to the sway bar bracket, or the bushing will go right back on there, put that back on, pump grease in it, and then put the stops right against the edge of it. It's like little collars with locking nuts on it, or screws on each side of it, so that'll lock it and keep it from moving back and forth. So let me do that real quick, and then I'll show you the finished product. Got the bushing. I'll hold the light here so you can kind of see. Took the bolts out, super simple. This total, both sides, probably is not going to take you 20-30 minutes. I mean, it's super easy. Bolts loose, unscrew the little grease zerk out of it, That comes right off. The little plastic bushing, the new ones just kind of pull apart and comes right off. Put the new one right on there. Screw the little the grease zerk back in it. Put your cover back on it. Put the bolts back in it. Tighten them down. That's done. Now the collar, you just it comes apart with 2 set screws or 2 screws, Allen head screws on each side. Take it apart, slide it on there, get them started. Tighten them up evenly. That way you can see your gaps on the top and bottom. I set it here just so it's easier to get to on the driver's side. Tighten that one down, tighten it kind of back and forth. Don't over tighten it. It's pretty tight. You have to tighten it pretty tight. The good thing is, CA Tech, this is a solid piece of aluminum. The bolts are not your cheap garbage you get with a lot of things that you can't really hardly even touch before they break. But tighten it down and you're done. Basically, do this side, do the other side, push it right up against it. And now I will show you that, this joker, left and right, up and down, there's no movement. Left and right, there's no movement. The sway bar can't go back and forth. We're going on a ride in a few weeks, and I'm going to see if that helps the rear clunking. Should, because you were getting a lot of movement from this, and your tires go up and down and stuff like this, and anything else that moves is going to make a noise, and it was kind of making a noise. But this thing is solid. Exactly the same for the other side. Super easy, super quick. I think I'm not exactly sure how much these were, but they weren't very expensive. I think maybe $50 for both of them, and then the bushings for $7-8. So $60-$75 to replace your sway bar in the rear as far as the bushing and the locking collars to keep it from going back and forth and making the noise. Should help the clunking in the back. We shall see. But anyway, I'll put a link. CA Tech. Highly recommend them. CA Technologies USA. www.catechusa.com. I'll put a link in the description for the collar. And I'll also go find the bushings. I believe it was on Rocky Mountain ATV or Partzilla. I can't remember. I kind of switch back and forth, whichever one has the cheapest deal on those. So I will put a link in the description. And again, guys, thanks for subscribing to the channel. If you hadn't already, please subscribe. Hit a like if this was helpful. And we will see you next time.